Hey, hey, how you?
Just so far from here, focused on my own way, but never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare. But when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes to try to change up to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try to leave the beat. If I said tonight, I don't have the time to find. If I went tonight, sometime tonight, I'm falling asleep when I'm home, when I'm gone. Can't see through that shine of your eyes. I can see my eyes. I used to see them too. I just leave into my world, far from the pain, the feel. Just out of reach of the
Yeah, thanks. Racing.com. Oh, well, yeah, just go to iRACING.com. Yeah, it should be down the bottom, the other thing. So. Discord, go back to the Discord. Here you go. See it? Why would you not want me to do that for your league? That's what I'm saying. Yes. I actually, see, I called on, see, it's been a while since I've been on it. Been on iRacing Live. I've been on it before, and it's been a while since I was on it. Got in contact with, it does depend on the league if you get it out there to them. Like I said, I didn't promote it or anything. You know, but anyways, the bad thing is you can only do it through YouTube. This league, obviously, they're wanting through theirs. But here's my thing: is if they kicked you off of that other one, why not just build the darn thing? I don't know. It's up to them. Not a lot of leagues here, as long as they get their response league out there. That's what. Biscuit, hush. They don't care. They just want their stuff broadcast and their sponsors getting it. Biscuit. That means go over the airwave and say, "Hey, you idiot! You just hit me, Doug." You know, that's what they mean. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Don't do that. That's a call out. Yep. I don't know. I mean, some leagues are really strict with that stuff. Yeah. Rebecca! Rebecca! Biscuit, get over here. Biscuit. Put that damn dog. Put him in the damn kid. I like the street stocks, man. They're really cool. They whatnot. Oh, Jesus. All right, ready?
Evening and welcome to the GeForce Racing League here tonight in the home for a lot of race teams down here at the dirt track at Charlotte. We are doing street stocks here tonight. This is the 2Ws Plumbing Street Stock A division brought to us by Supreme Sim Racing Team. My name is Doug Elkins. Joe White is the man behind the scenes who makes this all happen. He'll be joining us. This is the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show as the street stocks are out for tonight. Remember, this is just one of 19 different GeForce Racing League divisions that compete during the week, and we are so happy that you're here with us here tonight. Now, Gambler Motorsports, they're an esports team. You'll be hearing some guys who race with them over the course of the night. Last night, we had a few of them who were actually in the podium with us. Sports cars, asphalt, they race it all, and their drivers are here. Look for them on Facebook to find out more. Joe White is with us right now. He is actually down in Charlotte right now. How are we doing today, Joe?
Doing pretty good as we get set here for qualifying tonight. You're right, man. My backyard here with the Charlotte dirt track, obviously right there in between the 4-wide drag strip and the big, well, everybody knows the NASCAR track down there too. So it's a whole full racing community when you go down there. But qualifying and street stocks, I'm gonna tell you what, in the last several weeks, these street stocks have been exciting. I have really enjoyed them. To me, they look like big stock cars out there, and pretty much what they are, and they can get out there, beat and bang, and just slam the doors with each other.
Of course, tonight's division standings, let's take a look at those as we are 2 races into the season, brought to us by NSM Wraps. And of course, this is Vanderbilt Race Cars qualifying session that's taking place right now. NSM Wraps, and that's Wraps with a Z. They just started in April 2020. So if you're looking for something cool, they do dirt and asphalt paints. They've been picking up customers all over the place. They take a lot of pride in what they do. They got 4 people that do these wraps too. So what that means is it's not going to be a week before you get your thing. So make sure to look them up, NSM Wraps with a Z, to find out more. Well, what are we seeing here so far, Joe? It looks like Steven Speed's fastest so far. Spees, by the way, fifth.
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. I was doing something in the background.
I know,
you're right.
you're
Steven Spees.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Steven Spees, man, out there looking good so far. Nicholas Vickery, awesome right there. And Philip Gome right there sitting in third. Zach Chapman up in the fourth. And Stephen Shaw Jr. hanging on the fifth. And qualifying now, Charlotte, obviously we just came back from Lernersville. There was no walls on the turns there, but turns here.
And lots of room. That's the one thing that does make Charlotte so nice. Stephen Shaw Jr. is the leader after 2 races. Shane Ramthan is second. Zachary Chapman third. Rob Shaw is fourth. Stephen Spees, we just talked about, is fifth, 22 points behind. Nicholas Vickery, John Hine, Philip Gom, Wayne Miller, and Todd Shaw round up the top 10 in the point standings. And, of course, there's a lot of races to go, Joe. So, as we always say about 2 races in, really don't pay too much attention to those points just yet, right?
I don't really, because it's still got a lot of racing to go here and a lot of time and a lot of things can change, this and that. Obviously, as the season winds down, we get the other things. We can definitely start looking closely because you've got the things like drop weeks. You got so many different divisions and so forth. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see as the series comes on. We're still new into this street stock here.
That's true. And then, like you said, with the drops and stuff, too, all the different tracks, not everybody's good at every track. That's just the reality of the situation there. So we'll be getting more into the points, of course, as things go on. But it looks like qualifying is just winding down. You can see the pylon there and see where your favorite driver is, whether you're watching them at home. And a big welcome to all of you. Remember, what do you say, Joe? Share, like, do all that stuff. And if you have questions.
Share, hit a like out there. I always used to say this, always just aggravate the heck out of Tim in the booth with me. But hey, look, if you like and share, we always appreciate it. But if you don't, there's a little thumbs down button. You can hit it too. We still appreciate you coming by, taking the time, man, out of your day to load some hate or love, either way you want to look at it. So I appreciate
if you think we're
everybody
missing something, maybe we're saying your favorite driver's name wrong, anything. Joe is monitoring the Facebook side at all times, and he can jump right in and fix it. A&J Custom Creations bringing us the first heat tonight. Joe, we love their work. They do CNC machining and engraving, but the big thing with them is they do it on wood. They do trophies and plaques to all the GeForce Racing League division champions. Andy Patton is the guy who makes that happen. We've seen their work, Joe. It's amazing, so make sure to look them up. Here is the lineup: Stephen Spees and Philip Gom, a couple of guys who are in the top 10 in the points in the front row. Troy P. Stewart and Andrew Smith, they're in row number 2. William Watson and Stephen Goldner in row 3. Stephen Shaw Jr., he is the current point leader, and Chris Schaefer are in row 4, and then Chris Whipple is at the back. Nice mix of Canadian and American drivers tonight. And last night we had somebody from New Zealand that we got to chat with, Joe. That was cool.
It is, so close to the accent of being Australian, and I'm going to tell you what, some of them guys definitely can get it way here of iRacing. I know a lot of them out there, and are working actually to I'm gonna say it this way: one of the greatest on iRacing broadcaster when it comes to dirt. Okay, that on the iRacing platform, that is, and that's old Brett Wheeler out there from Ultimate Dirt TV. He is from Aussie, and I'm gonna tell you what: if you want to hear somebody that will just get blown up excited, man, me and him got in the booth and we had a ball, and it was awesome to do. So, Australian guys, man, are something else.
Yeah, we have a couple of them over here that run the modifieds here in Central New York, and it's a lot of fun to meet them. The heats did not invert, so the fast qualifier, Stephen Spees, is actually on the pole. Normally they invert the top 4. It didn't work out that way this time. 8 laps will be the distance. Top 4 get in as we are ready to go, Joe.
Absolutely. Green flag's about to fly. Pace trucks in. Stephen Spees company up there. Philip Gone. Troy Stewart. And as always with these street stocks, these guys get up here, and it's always a side-by-side, 2x2 thing. You'll see somebody maybe try to break out. Usually they stay in a bunch a lot here. It's pack-style racing as they head off into turn number 3 here again. But they're 3 wide, 3 back.
3 wide for third place is doing a little banging there. Caught in the middle there is Andrew Smith in the 79. And the other thing, these are open setups, but you and I have talked about this before. There's not as much you can do with a street stock as you could with a sprint or a midget or something like that.
Yeah, it is right there. You see already a battle happening for the 4th place spot, and that's Philip Gone, Andrew Smith and company. They're 4 wide trying to battle for that 3 wide right now. That's for the transfer spot too.
Yeah, and Goldner's the car that's way on the outside there, the yellow and red car. That's Philip Gom. And you can see William Watson, guy who's been with us now for a few weeks and been running pretty well. He's down in the bottom. Spees and Stewart, they're 1 and 2. They're kind of racing the track while we watch this battle here. And Joe just knows I love this shot looking up front.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Andrew Smith has had an up and down battle. As you see Chris Schaefer there, he gets in a little trouble. But he was up front there in the transfer, then just got knocked back there, just also in the back part. Now he's out of it looking in. William Watson is the man right now, though, hanging on the fourth. He's got Steve Shaw and Stephen Goldner. And we know those two cats right there can get it done on the track. And look at this battle. You got the Oreo 88 and the 30 right there. They're all going to see what they can do.
Yeah, the 88 is Watson. He's the one who's had that spot. The Oreo car, that is Stephen Shaw Jr., the point leader, and then Goldner's the black and white Camaro on the outside. Boy, they're able to get up there with it, but they just can't seem to find a way by.
No, it's not. As you just see those guys, man, out there just trying to stick what they can so far. But right now, it's all Stephen Goldner outside looking in the fifth place. William Watson right there hanging on to the fourth place. Well, he's got a tailgate full, though, of Stephen Goldner.
And Goldner got a little close that time. I don't know if maybe he had to check up for a second, but it cost him a car length. As you can see, Gom is trying Stewart now for second. That's Gom on the outside. Watson is that black 88 that's right there, and you can see Goldner still trying to get in, but they're going to get the white flag this time. Not a lot of time left, Joe.
Yeah, right now you see the battle's on for second place. Actually, we're ranking Andrew Smith, but Troy Stewart right there in third. He's got, though, William right on his back tailgate. Still Stevens Goldner outside looking in. Spees, though, he's riding off into the sunset. The battle's on for about third and fourth. Checker flags out. It's going to be Spees. What's that?
Is the sun setting yet? I'm not sure. It doesn't look at Spees. We'll get to it. Gom gets second. Stewart actually falls back to fourth, so Watson gets third. And Goldner, Shaw, Smith, Whipple, and Schaefer will be headed to the consolation race. Good race there, as always.
Tell you what, if old Spees would have kept going, he would have been kept running on into the sunset there, because it definitely was awesome. But Heat Race 2 underway here.
Brought to us by McConey Setup. We'll learn more about them later. Joe has a nice video he's going to play for us during the hot lap, so you can learn a lot more. But basically, this is a company that's going to set you up. They're going to give you setups. You can tell them how your car's working, what you need it to do, and Joe can tell you this guy's been doing this stuff for a long time. So make sure to look them up via email, McConey, MACONI Setup Shop, and you can see it kind of cycle through in the upper right of your screen there. All our sponsors do that. So big thanks to them. As we get ready, here's your lineup for qualifier number 2. Shane Ramthen is on the pole along with Zach Chapman there in the front row. Brett Raby, I believe is how you said that. Mike Schultz with him. Rob Shaw, John Hine there in row number 3. Barry Goldner and Jeff Barker are in row 4. And Lane Snook is at the back of the pack. Yeah, if I remember, it was Raby, right? Because he's, I believe, not Canadian. Is he Australian, perhaps? He is, yeah, Australia, New Zealand. So, yes. I have to work on my pronunciations on that, so.
What do you want to know sometimes? So, you know, this Rantham up front there, Chapman, Raby, Brett.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Brett, though.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I believe that sounds, I could picture Crocodile Dundee saying Raby. You know, I could picture that, right? You could do that, right? So,
go with that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I know it's not Rabby, because that's what I called him at first. Because there's a driver named Chris Rabby who runs modifieds up in Canada. So that's why I kind of figured I had a good shot at it there. So, again, top 4 is how you get in, Joe. And we got some good cars in the back here, like Rob Shaw's outside of the top 5. So is John Hine, Jeff Barker. I mean, this is tough sledding tonight for these street stocks.
And Lane Snook did not grid up, so unfortunate for him on that one. Definitely he'll probably have to run the numbers here in the consolation. Like you said, John Hine outside looking in, Jeffrey Barker right there, Rob Shaw, Mike Schultz hanging on the 4th place. Green flag's about to fly. We'll get racing here in the Heat Race number 2.
Ramthen is the car on the bottom. Chapman's the 72 on the outside. Bottom looks like the place to be here early. Oh, and I saw Raby get a little loose there. 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah,
wow.
It is right now out front. You see it there for the lead battle. They're knocking each other out. Mike Schultz there along with it. Shane's up there. Battle's on for the 4th place spot, too. John Hines up top trying to run the numbers there up against the wall on the cushion. You got Zach Chapman hanging on and outside looking in. Not by much as they make contact in the tournament.
Boy, 5 cars all together. 4 of them are going to qualify, so one of these drivers is going to have to run the consolation race right now. As for Schultz, he's sitting there in second. Ramthen's out front kind of cruising right now, but the crew shop ride of Hine, now he's back to 5th.
Yes, he is back to 5th. Boy, I tell you what, Brett right there pushing Zachman. You saw it there in a close quarter just to see what it is. He is definitely pushing him through the turns. These guys are just leaning on each other.
And as you can see, that's the battle for fifth that you're watching right now. Hine on the outside, the car on the inside is Rob Shaw. Good racing as always. More I see these street stocks, Joe, I think these might be my favorite.
But they're just so dead, almost even out there. Contact made. Oh, is he going to be able to hang on to it? That could run. That's Mike Schultz, and he's going to lose a lot of positions all the way back to 6. He's outside looking in. John Hine goes in a little bit too tough into the turn. They're 3 wide, though. Actually, that's still a battle for 4th. That's the last transfer spot.
And Mike Schultz was second just 2 laps ago. So it's happening quickly here as we're working lap number 5. They're working their way down the front stretch. You see Hine taking a peek to the inside now of Zach Chapman.
Yeah, Zach Chapman right now not where he wants to be. Actually, not where he wants to be because he's got Hine right there beside of him. But and luckily, those two are still transfer spots. Rob Shaw would have to get up there right there we see in 5th place and get up there a little bit closer. Car on the wall, but still a battle for 4th.
Yeah, and remember, guys, in case you're new, cautions do not count in heats or consolation. So if something happens, you see a car flip and you wonder where's the yellow, that's why. So at least now we've got 4 cars kind of separated. Rob Shaw, the black and white Camaro, is just on the outside looking in. But there you see, they're 2nd, 3rd, and 4th all together.
Right now, Zach, like you said, hanging on the 3rd. I tell you what, again, Shane out there, he's just walking away.
No, he's gone.
He is gone, long gone. White flags flying. Who's going to hang on to that 4th place? Can Shaw get up there and maybe get lucky here? But right now, it's John Hine. If those two get together.
Look out, John.
Yeah,
oh, he gets sideways. He's still going to get the qualifying spot.
He's got it. Yep, man, I tell you what, if I'd been about another lap and they'd have done that, Rob Shaw would have probably been like, yes, clapping up a cool breeze.
Yeah, get together, guys. It's exactly what I want you to do. So Ramthan, Raby, Chapman, and Hine are your qualifiers from that heat. And I'm just going to look ahead to make sure. Yeah, just 3 heats tonight. So let me see. I believe only one guy is going to go home, maybe 2, because I think we had 9 in the first 2 heats. Qualifying heat race number 3 is what's coming your way now. Howard Hanna Real Estate. I'll tell you, we're nice to have these guys on here. Agent Scott Hurwitt has jumped on board with us. I didn't know this, but Howard Hanna Real Estate is #1 in the country. So whether you're looking for a big house, your mansion, your first house, or that second house, something a little bit bigger, make sure to look them up. Give him a call, S. Hurwitt at ymail.com, and he will get you in touch with an agent in your area, and they will take good care of you. Here's the lineup for heat race number 3. Nicholas Vickery and Stephen Shaw Jr., they are on the front row. Here's a new driver. Blake Bolton and Wayne Miller are in row number 2. TJ McGuire and L.W. Wise are in row number 3, and then GJ Boydell and Terry Landis are in the last row. So once again, a real nice field of drivers here, Joe. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like Bolton is in that 34. He's actually listed on our screen as 903, but he is in the 34. We'll see how he does. As, again, fastest qualifier does start on the pole, so that's probably why we haven't seen any passing out front just yet. Vickery is the car with the white and pink one. Stephen Shaw is on the outside. They're looking at the flagger right now and waiting for him to wave the flag as we are green here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Robbie. Okay. Rugby. Okay, so that is about right then. Okay. Thanks, guys. Whoa, and a little contact there as Bolton got into the 677 of Miller a little bit. That allowed TJ McGuire in the black and white number 83 to sneak into that final qualifying spot. Love this track, Joe. Look at all that racing room out there at Charlotte. Yeah. That's right. The top three all up high. And you can see the color changing in the track already as it is changing. And you can see the guys that are running in high, they're kind of getting up above that, trying to get a little extra bite. I guess I'm surprised maybe that McGuire is able to stay with him on the bottom.
Yeah, it is. It definitely right there on the bottom side, as you can see. Wayne. TJ's still back there. Wayne's hanging on to the third place, and it's still Blake. So everybody's through single file for the top four. You got to go back here to LW. These guys are tearing it up 3 wide right now.
For sixth, so it doesn't matter where you're on the racetrack. If you're racing for last, you're still racing, right, Joe? So
what this shows us right here, though, Doug, is later on, qualifying might be very crucial to these guys, because you're not seeing anybody. Even though you got multi-grooves, it still looks like it's very hard to pass here and hard to make up ground, unless somebody gets in trouble, that is.
That's true, because 6, 7, and 8 are still 6, 7, and 8. They've changed that. Well, actually, now they're exactly as they were off the start right now. So, yeah. And this track kind of lends itself to that anyway, because it's big and fast. You don't have to lift a heck of a lot, Joe.
No, you don't. Right now, it's a little contact there. LW gets up under the wall. Still fourth place man, TJ. He's got his hands full. Bolton's trying to get their white flag. Bolton's got one more time to maybe see if he can't stick it in the middle here. We'll see if he kind of throws a slide job. He's going to try it.
He tries, but I don't think he's close enough to get up there and sniff the back of the 83 just yet. So Shaw, he's out in front, almost a full second. Vickery is second. Wayne Miller is third, as we watch McGuire, as he is going to get the final qualifying spot. So TJ McGuire finishes fourth. Bolton, Waddell, Wise, Landis, they will head to the consolation race, which is up right now. Another thing I love about iRacing, Joe, you know what? Don't have to wait for that consolation race. They don't have to go in and fuel up and do anything else they need to do. Of course, this B main brought to us by Velocity Race Design. You want a fresh new look on your car? Velocity Race Design are the people that are going to do it for you, and they do some really nice work there. One-stop shop. Don't delay. Head over to Velocity Race Design on Facebook and order yourself a custom paint design today. Here is what we have in the B main. Stephen Goldner and Rob Shaw in the front row. Blake Bolt, we just saw him. He will start third with Stephen Shaw Sr. outside of him. Mike Schultz, he was up as high as second at his heat, and he's in the Consi now. He's in the third row with Boyd L, GJ. Andrew Smith and Barry Goldner in row 4. LWI's Chris Whipple, row 5. Jeffrey Barker, Terry Landis, row 6. And Chris Schaefer. And we'll see if Lane Snook makes it out for this one or not. He is on the sheet there. He's supposed to start in 14th. We'll see if he may. He did practice. He just didn't qualify. So
and
let's see how many we take.
Guys might think that this might not be their night. In some tracks, guys like some that they don't, so they'll just kind of opt out. They might practice, get out there and see what the car's like, and they'll be like, you know what, I just don't like the conditions. And that's the joys of kind of online racing. That is well. It don't cost anything to get out there and try to see if you like it. I mean, unlike, in real racing, you're not going to get out there and just, let's see if this place fits me or not.
Yeah.
Unless you got the money.
Yeah. Well, that's not most people I know, right? What do they say? Yeah. What's the best way to make a small fortune in racing? Start with a big one. It's just that simple. 14 cars, actually. 12 are going to get in. The way they finish in this will determine positions 13 and back is how that will work.
Right, here we go. Stephen Goldner, Rob Shaw, Blake Bolton, Steve Shaw right there along with it. Mike Schultz and company. Here we go. Top guys up here. Will look pretty good as the green flag's about to fly. Rob Shaw and company here. Here we go. We're racing to Charlotte.
Good start on the outside for Shaw. Goldner goes to the bottom. And you can see Bolton, he's in that 34 down low. And, of course, the cookie man is Stephen Shaw up high side. Got the Oreos in the car with him.
He does, and we're watching the fourth place there, Steve Shaw. You got Mike Schultz there in company. 3 wide battle here as you see Mike Schultz there trying to see what he can do. And, again, it's 12 cars here tonight that's going to the feature. So let's look back here in the 12th place. That's Terry Landis. You've got Jeffrey Barker, and as I say, Terry Landis, he jumps right up a spot. So that puts Jeffrey Barker back there outside LWI's, and didn't make it.
Nope, never gridded up for this one.
Unfortunately crashing out of this one. So, guess what? Everybody's going to make it.
There you go. Tough break for LW, but a good break for everybody else. Slide job for the lead. I just caught it there. Goldner tried the inside of Shaw, and Shaw comes right back at him. Oh, I love that when you see that, right?
Oh, yeah, good slide job, man, right there is what you always need. And you see it. Oh, Stephen Goldner got all kind of wicked loose there only coming out of the turn. You don't see that often with these cars. They're usually pretty planted. It's just all depending on how the track state is and right up on the wall. Now, that's a lot what you see with these guys because these things push a lot. Really tight here. Rob Shaw's hanging on to it. Stephen Goldner wants it. Here comes old Bolton to the inside.
Bolton thought about the slide job. You can see he probably realized he was going to drive right up into the side of Stephen Goldner, so he thought better of it. Here he's going to try it again, and you can see he just can't get far enough by to make that happen, can he, Joe?
And it looks like the car just digs into the dirt and kind of stops his momentum. Watch him as he goes in. He's got good momentum, and all of a sudden it kind of gets up and it's kind of like it's just a rut to stop him. Now he did pretty good through that turn. Let's see what he does through this one here. Down low and
way low.
Right there, you see it just kind of just stops. It's like the momentum kind of stops. So maybe 1 and 2 looks pretty good. Might slick off 3 and 4. Might be a little tight here because he looks really good through 1 and 2. Just 3 and 4 doesn't look very well.
Well, the other thing, too, is that with Goldner and Shaw pretty much nose to tail, where's he going to slide up if he does do the slide job, right? There's not really room to squeeze between them.
Right in the side of him under the door. There's going to be, Pancake City up there. So we'll have to see. Is Jeffrey Barker, unfortunately, crashing, but really not going to affect him too much.
Well, door skids are cheap, Joe. I mean, they're easy to make too. That's the easiest piece in the whole car to make. So if you gotta bang up something, damage up the door skid if you can. 3-car race up front. Looks like Bolton might be content now as we watch a little bit further back. This is 4th place here.
It is the 4th and 5th place spot. You got Mike Schultz there, G.J. Wardell, Chris Whipple and company. Those guys definitely know how to dig around this place. You still see that battle up front, but a good one going on here. As that's about, like I said, about the 4th, 5th, and 6th place spot. Laps are winding down. I tell you, the Oreo man right there up in the wall. White flag. Let's see if old Rob Shaw's going to be able to hang on to it because Stephen Goldner's all over his back bumper. This kind of might tell us what we're looking for here in the feature as the final turns. He's going to try.
Goldner down low near the tires. Is it going to work? Drag race to the line. It's going to be Shaw with the win.
Yep.
Goldner second. Bolton third.
And that move right there probably is kind of going to tell us how maybe the feature's going to go and just what these guys are going to have to do. Normally we see a lot of guys trying that low line. I think they're going to need some massive momentum and very close to the car in front of them to make that pass work. But we'll have to see as it plays off here. We're in a little warm-up now.
Hey, nice job by Stephen Goldner, though, because that's the time to try it. The last corner, you haven't done it the whole race. You're trying to hold on, make sure you start no worse than 14th. So a great time for him to pull that move right there. This is our intermission brought to us by Icon Sim Sports. And I know Joe and I each want to go to Icon and get one of their setups, but basically they're the ones that build rigs, all right? And they start as low as $6.99. We got a nice video we're going to show from them and also from our friends at McConey Setup. But before we go, I just also wanted to remind you guys to check out the NSM Photos Driver of the Week. You can go to needspeedmotorsports.com and check that out. It's updated weekly. But, man, we got some good videos here. And I tell you, I want one of every one of those Icon setups, don't you, Joe?
Looks very nice here. Tell you what, folks, I'm going to step away and get some breaks here from our sponsors. Like I said, Icon and McConey Setup Shop. We'll be right back here in a minute, folks.
Pricing starting at just $5. Slopes available for all legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We got you. Visit www.mcconeysetup.com LaconieSetupShop.com and find yourself victory lane. Laconie Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back. I wonder which rig you picked out as you watched that one video there. Joe and I already picked ours out. We're all set, so we're going to get them in the mix here very soon. Want to say thanks to Supreme Sim Racing. They are the ones who bring us this feature lineup that we'll be bringing to you here in just a moment as the practice session has ended here. Malcolm Mills will be responsible for the replays. They've been doing that for a long time. 2W's Plumbing, well, they're the guys who are going to sponsor the Hard Charger Award, and of course all of our drivers are hoping to make it to Epsilon Sprint Reps Victory Lane. Supreme Sim Racing, well, we heard from them last week, right, Joe? I believe it was top 4 drivers in this race, wasn't it? We're SSR drivers, right?
Yes, absolutely, they are, and it looks pretty good so far. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They came out here, the SSR team, just dominated. It's awesome to see and hear what they did. So, we'll have to see what happens tonight. You got Spees, Rantham, Shaw, and Gaume, and Ryby. See the Ryby up there, all top 5. Boy, good one here tonight.
Yeah, look for SSR when you're racing, guys. And if you get in there and you impress them, you might be fortunate enough to get invited onto their team, because I know not all of you guys are affiliated. There's a lot of independents out there. Not so much in this series that we race, Joe, but you know, there's a lot of people that are still learning. So maybe they could be fortunate enough to be on that team. Stephen Spees, Shane Ramthan in row number 1 of our SSR feature lineup. Stephen Shaw Jr., Philip Gaume there in row 2. Brett Ryby and Nicholas Vickery in row number 3. I actually like saying that now. It's kind of fun. William Watson, Zach Chapman in row 4. Wayne Miller, Troy Stewart in row number 5. John Hine, TJ McGuire in row 6. Now we go to the cars from the consolation race. Rob Shaw, Stephen Goldner in row 7. Blake Bolton and Mike Schultz in row 8. GJ Boydell, Stephen Shaw, they are in row 9. Stephen Shaw Sr., Quip Whipple, row 10. Terry Landis, Barry Goldner, Andrew Smith, Chris Schaefer, and Jeffrey Barker round out our field here tonight. 30 laps will be the deal here. Cautions will count in this, unlike the heat races. So what do we think, Joe? We really haven't seen a dominant groove. I like the top's been a little better, so it has to make me wonder if the bottom's coming around.
Well, to see what happens, I think if you're going to come through the field, you're going to have to, you know, it's going to be a guy getting in trouble up there. We've not seen anybody just come barreling through it on pure speed, so we'll have to see what happens. But you definitely know, man, those SSR guys up there, they're definitely bad fast. We got a stacked full here of talent on the field. 24 drivers here tonight for our Wednesday night series on the show. I'll get it out in a minute. On the street stocks. Tongue-tied right now. It's going to get us all excited, I guess, about the racing. As green flag flies, we're out here dirt slinging.
Must be something about the water in Charlotte this time of year. Good start for Steven Spies as he is out in front. You see Stephen Shaw Jr. in the 96 coming right with him is Brett Raby in that number 13. Is expect close races here because it is tough to drive away and hide these street stocks.
Well, let's go back here in the back because look at this 6 wide mess. You don't hear that a lot. You do not hear when somebody says 6 wide, 4-3 or something like that, maybe 5. But those guys were they were almost down in the infield. Cars going around. We got one in the grass mowing it right now. That's Blake Bolton, unfortunately.
Nice thing is he doesn't have to repair that. No groundskeeper will be needed, and the caution does not come out because he is down in the infield. So, yeah, look at this stuff back here. This is crazy, Joe.
It is wild racing throughout. I've always said up front, middle, we got action there, and in the back, all over the track. Just kind of keep up with it right now because you see the mid-pack right here. Look at this mess 4 wide, and they're still slamming and bamming. Here we got dirt track bumper cars going on.
And that was the 83 of TJ McGuire, who was the pinball in the middle there, getting bounced around in the black and white 83. So it is crazy. Steven Spies, by the way, is your leader, and he is 7/10 of a second. That's why we're not showing him right now because he's got such a comfortable lead right now. Rantham and Stephen Shaw Jr. are second and third, and there you see the lead right there as Spies is saying, keep this thing green. I want to keep going, right?
Oh, absolutely. The greener it is, the smoother he's running. But look at this pack of machines here. You got Chapman right there, but he looks in the rear view mirror. He's going, man, you got to be kidding me. Hornets, the boatman gets up there and hooks him. Is he going to put the anchor on him? No, he was able to hold on to him. Yellow flags out. Troy Stewart is around. Let's go back on our Malcolm Mills replay here. Whew, I tell you what, folks, that'll let you get a little breath right there. Maybe catch some air. See what happened to old Troy Stewart right here. He's down low. Who knows what happened to him back here in this mess. It's a wild traffic jam right there. It's in that 117 machine. Nice looking blue and white car there, Doug.
It is.
He's by himself right now. Don't know if maybe just or pie, maybe just pie or something, or just a victim, wrong place, wrong time.
And then boom, there he goes. So yeah, I think he had to check up. I think Hine might have checked up, so he wasn't going to drive that car in front of him around. And I think basically that, like the old accordion effect, I think is what happened there.
Yeah. I mean, I always say, sometimes you get in the wrong place at the wrong times. There's nothing you can do about it. And that's just, that's dirt track, short track style racing in general. I mean, you can chalk this up. Even though it's on dirt, it's still short track style racing. And I always say, even on the asphalt side, tempers can flare a lot of times. And sometimes just nothing you can do.
And a lot of times, you don't have time to think in an incident like that. So you react and you figure you could go high, you could go low. You got a 50% chance of getting it right. And sometimes, like you said, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to get it in anyway as the lights are still on here on the pace car here. And again, thanks to all of you guys for joining us tonight. Any suggestions, anything like that, please let us know. And remember, we're coming back with sprints after this, the Elite Division.
That's right. Don't go anywhere, folks. We still got some more dirt track racing up here. We got the Oswego Speedway Race Source Elite Series 360 wing sprint. So we go from one extreme to the other. And with these street stocks, we still got to get through here on this feature. It's a good one so far. Pace trucks in, Speeds up front, Rantham right there along with them. We'll see if Speeds gets another good jump on him as a green flag flies. Here we go. We're back racing.
Steven Spies also very accomplished in the road course side of things as well. He was gone during those first 5 laps, and here we go again as he got a great start again this time, Joe.
Absolutely, right there. Robbie looking good in the 5th place spot. Spies out front. Is still looking about 3 wide right now. Up top, Chapman is in 4th. John Hine down low. Let's see if they get that low line going. I haven't really seen it too much tonight.
Rampton, Shaw, and Raby all right there, 3 wide for the number 2 spot. And John Hine has actually done a nice job here. You talked about how tough it is to work up through the field. He's 11th to 5th. He would be our 2W's Plumbing hard charger right now.
Yeah, it is right now, riding here with Robbie, and you can see what he sees in front of him. Just those 2 cars a little split up right now, but we got a big mess in the back here, though. Go back and see. Yeah, caution is out. Let's see what happens. Like Phillip. Gone was involved. There's several other cars involved too, but look at, yeah, you can see it right there. They're still trying to sort that one out. But let's go back on the replay here, Malcolm Mills replay here. See what happened is a 4-wide sandwich back here.
Yellow car.
Not sure if it was Philip who started it, and just several other drivers were involved in it. It all looks like they just got to the wall. Boom! It just got bumpy.
Yeah, Wade Miller, I think, was the car. Yep.
Oh, there goes the Oreo. They flipped the
Oh,
Oreo,
no,
and they
Oreo
flipped another one.
punched.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, he lands on top of him almost. It's never good when another car lands on top of you.
Yeah, somebody rolled the Oreo
He
out on
runs
the
over
track.
the implements.
Yeah, they rolled the Oreo,
Well,
Doug.
Oreos, they do roll. You know, you put them
That's
on their
true,
side, they
that's
will
true.
roll. So they're used to being on their side anyway. So, of course, you can't tell if an Oreo's upside down, though. There's no way to tell that. So,
Well, maybe he needs to put wheels on
we-
the top side, too. Then we won't have to worry about it.
And of course we joke because no one was actually injured. No one's pocketbook was damaged by $20,000 by doing that. So you could have a little fun here. I'm looking at one car out here at the back. I'm looking at the back of Rob Shaw's 519. Looks like he got a bumper right in the middle of that rear end. That spoiler and everything crunched in right in the middle. He got rammed hard from somebody from behind.
And there's a lot of them out there, and that's just the short track and the dirt track here that you can see. Green flags back at it again. They are still back up front. Look at this 3-wide. You got Speeds there, Shaw, Rantham, Chapman along with it. And Speeds has had some awesome starts here. Look at this 3-wide here with John Hine, though.
And John Hine's been the guy to watch so far. Started 11th as the caution comes out again. I keep having a feeling he's finding something down there on the bottom. What do you think, Joe?
I don't know if that was Schaefer that was involved, but let's go back on the replay and just kind of see. Really pop anybody up. Looks like he's been involved with something else before, but I don't know. You can see him blink right there. And then
The back, I see one car getting a little sideways there.
this would be a good angle to look and see if we see it.
Yeah.
If we see it yet. It might have been what happened here, Doug, and I'm going to just take a gander on it while we'll just go back live here. But what happened is I feel like when he blinked right there, and folks were on a virtual world and things like that happen.
Right.
When he blinked like that and didn't come back, and he might have came back later at iRacing, it might have triggered the caution thinking he was still in the track or something. It could have been, one of those technical things like that. But nonetheless, on the caution here tonight, Street Stocks SSR style, see what these guys can put on here. Speeds has been the man out front all night long.
Let it from the drop of the green. Warping is what they used to call it back in the day, but that's basically when your internet connection kind of coughs for a second, and that could be irritating. And there is a minimum ping, how good your signal is to be allowed even in here, because back in the dial-up days, that was a big problem. Not so much now, as it used to be. Remember that, Joe, back in those days, right?
Absolutely. And I guess you could still call it net code sometimes, warping. Lag, a lot of things, those are just technical terms for the online world. Our equivalent of a battery dying or a wheel falling off or something in the real world. Either way, trucks in, green flags about at it. Let's see if Speeds, he's been a man up front all night long, though. He's been controlling this field.
And he's starting on the inside, so we'll see what he does here. Although, like we said, Joe, he didn't pull away as much during that last green flag period as he has in earlier ones, so we'll see what he does, although he did get a good start that time.
Yeah, green flag's out. He got out front of the field there like you just saw, but Chapman is along the side this time. Here goes Steve Shaw Jr., though. Stephen Shaw Jr. up front. Let's see if he's going to be able here and do anything with it. And I got a feeling if Speeds right there sees Shaw go to the top, I guarantee he's going to switch that lane up there and try to block him. Right now he's hanging on to the middle side of the track for the moment.
Of course, you have to wonder, too, if he's happy with that middle line that he's running and just going to say, yeah, go ahead. I got the line anyway, so go ahead up there and get me if you want. High now to the inside of Ryby. Ryby goes around and a couple of cars together. I was looking at that one right when it happened, Joe, and we were back under yellow.
That is Brett Ryby, and you were saying it right there. You were just talking about him. Unfortunately, let's go back here on the Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened. You can start seeing the track get a little bit bumpy right there in the turn, so you can see the cars kind of hopping a little bit. Might actually, upset him, and Ryby was up front during this one.
That's him on the outside there.
Pushed up to the wall a little bit. Was able to hold on to it. And
It's right here.
boom! And you just saw right there.
Not much
And
of a
that
touch
probably,
either.
I want to say, again, it was two cars getting together and then just ultimately going around. But the online world, that's what they would say net code would be, because you saw the back end of his car hop like it did, like there was contact, or really didn't see contact. That's kind of what they talk about. But again, here's my thing: physics, and I'm no physics major, so don't really hold me to this one. But physics would say that once you have two cars coming together and they're keeping going to the same direction, they're both going to meet. And whether net code involves early or late, they're still going to meet. So two cars got together, unfortunately, boom.
Body in motion tends to stay in motion. I only took physics right up till the drop ad time in college, and I said this is way too much work, and I dropped it. So, but I remember just a few little things, and that was one of them. So, and two objects cannot occupy the same space either.
Yep, two can't occupy the same space. There you go.
Yep. So physics, yeah, if you want to be in racing, might not be a bad idea to take that as the green comes back out. Good start for Spees. Also a good start for Zach Chapman on the bottom, as he's going to stay right with him here down in turn one.
Yeah, nobody's been able to battle Spees all night long. He's been able to get those awesome starts on the restarts. He's out front. Stephen Shaw, though, has tried the high line. Here comes the man down low, Chapman. He's got his nose out front. That's all he needs. If he could drag race him, we're not sure anybody utilize that low, and the yellow's out. Watson. Man around. Let's go back and see here.
Well, that's two in a row for him.
Beat that bad night for
he was in the last
machine.
caution too. Yep. So, that's tough. And it's amazing, once you get in something like that, it's amazing how it affects your concentration, and then you feel like you've got to push to get back up, and then something else happens. So that's reality of racing, whether it's virtual or non-virtual, right?
Oh yeah. Watch right here. Oh, you just saw him right there.
Oh, there he goes.
Just got turned around in the middle of the pack. I mean, it just, kind of just one of those things, short track racing, nowhere to go. Now, get this, new leader. All night long, how important it is, track position out front with the laps winding down here. Now, Spees has not been in this position all night long. He does not have much time to be able to get around him. See what Chapman's able to do. He has done it on the low line, but we've seen that high lane be the place to be. Is he going to stick to the low line, or is he going to transfer up? Now, it looks like he's going to start.
Looks like he wants to move up here. I don't know.
He can't. Yeah, it does look like he is. So, and he has
By the
that
way,
option. Oh, they're going single file. Oh boy, I tell you, this right here is even. This is what Speeds probably did not want to see, as the pace truck's in and green flag's about to fly, because now, Chapman has got the ultimate front here. As here we go, and you see Speeds going to try to anticipate when he goes to maybe stick with him. Green flag, we're racing.
And of course, we're keeping an eye on our 2Ws Plum hard charger. Right now, it would be Andrew Smith, 22nd to 10th for him. So that guy's making up some room out there. Oh, Chapman just bounced off the wall.
And that's what I think that's what Speeds is going to have, because right now Chapman has turned up the wick here, and Speeds has not been able to do anything all night long. Once he has, and Chapman has just come up here and stole the show from Speeds right now, as you see him just walking away. Zach Chapman, a man out front here in the SSR Street Stock. White flag here one more time. I don't think Speeds has got enough to run him down in the final turns.
Now we watch the battle for second to see if Shaw Jr. can get by Spees for that number 2 spot. But coming out of the corner, Zach Chapman, late race pass, 8th to 1st to get the win.
Wow, and he does, and Spees hangs on to a drag race competition between Stephen Shaw Jr. The cap off the top 3 there. What a run. Off this in the SSR Street Stock here tonight for the GForce Racing League. Wow, and just out of nowhere, Chapman pulling that thing off. That was just phenomenal.
Of course, the other side of that coin is what a heartbreaker for Steven Spees to be as dominant as he was for 3/4 of the race, only to lose it there at the end. Of course, points battles are everything. Spees is 5th coming in, so it's still a fine run as he's made his way down to Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane. Remember, they create tailor-made graphics and logos to fit your personal taste. Focus on realistic design. You look like you drove off the track right onto the screen here. Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and our drivers are just starting to get into the waiting room right now, and we bring them up again. Remember, stick with us, right, Joe? We got sprint cars coming up next. The Elite Division, first race of the year after a couple of qualifiers, after some qualifiers leading up to it.
Yes, we do. And these guys, man, are definitely going to put on an outstanding show like they did before. Let's bring third place man here, Steve Shaw Jr. Let's get a word with him because he did an outstanding job tonight.
He really did. Stephen Shaw Jr. up here in the booth with us right now. Started third, ran up as high, I believe, as second for a while, ended up third. How was it for you, Stephen?
Not bad. Just decent points night. Just missed the setup a little bit, but hopefully come back better in the next one.
Yeah, and then that's right, because he is the point leader coming in. How did you miss the setup a little bit? Where could it have been better, and what might you have been able to do?
I was a little bit too free. I probably should have just took a little more stagger out of it, but it is what it is. It's just a good points night. Happy the teammate Zach got the win there. Good for the team.
Oh, he's your teammate. Okay, so how did he get up there? What did you see?
Me and Steven were running the top, and he ran a pretty.
Okay. Anybody want to say thanks to, Stephen?
I got to thank GForce, you guys for doing the broadcast. Both division sponsors, and I got to thank the team over at Supreme Sim Racing.
Very good. Nice job, man.
Yeah.
Stephen Shaw Jr., your point leader, probably will keep that point lead with his third place tonight. He had 4 points over Shane Ramthan, so yeah, if anything, his lead there gets a little busy. Zach Chapman was only 9 back, so he catches up just a little bit. Next up in the booth here, we should be seeing Steven Spies here in just a moment. Steven Spies joins us right now. Oh, heartbreaker, Steven. What happened there at the end of the race?
I think iRacing won that race is what I think happened. I know it was close when the yellow came out.
I was wondering that, yeah.
But I'm actually just was going back to look at the replay while I was in the waiting room there, and it looks to me like I still had a nose when the yellow lights turned on. But what are you going to do? That it is what it is. It looked like he was a little faster than me on those last couple laps, so fair's fair.
Now, do they do it from that actual moment when the yellow comes out, or is it like NASCAR where there's timing loops around the track?
I wish I knew. I have no idea.
That's the question, huh? Okay.
Yeah, and even kind of rewinding a little, it maybe had a nose in front of me for a millisecond or something. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating, right? You lead 25, 26 laps and have the car to beat, and then iRacing gets you. So, he was quick. He stayed up there. He put himself in position. So no fault of his at all. Take the win and don't apologize for him.
Did the car change at all? Did the track change?
Yeah, the kind of that middle line that I run usually works really well with the setup I've got. It was going away on me a little bit, and I don't run right up on the wall quite as well as I run that middle line. So I think that's where the speed was maybe moving to, and my setup, or really my driver. Let's not lie, it's not the setup, it's the driver. Doesn't do as well right up there on the wall here. I bounce off of it and lose a little bit of time usually.
Well, you got to talk to that driver about that, Stephen, right?
Hey, you get what you pay for.
Well, I can imagine that's the hardest line to run to some degree, right?
Yeah, it takes a lot of laps. You got to keep the car straight, and you can still pretty much keep your foot in it if you hit it just right. But I think what we talked about in the midgets yesterday, right? These high lines are high risk, high reward.
They are. Who would you like to say thank you to, Stephen? Because it's still a good run, and I give you credit for handling it well.
Oh yeah, I'm certainly happy with it. So thanks again to Epsilon Sprint Wraps. This Street Stocks looked good and been fast ever since I got that wrap on there. My team, Gambler Motorsports, thanks for the support and the help and the testing that we all do there. And again, mtpturbo.com. The GeForce Leagues, have a good time running here, and I know we've got some specific series sponsors. Shame on me, I should know who they are in this series, but there's so many I can't keep up.
I understand. SSR is actually the ones that sponsored this race tonight. Good talking to you again, man, and we're going to see you in the next race.
Yeah, I will be there. Sprints aren't my strong suit, but we'll see what we can do.
Maybe we'll talk to you one more time. Good job.
Sounds good. Thanks, Derek.
Stephen Spies, and again, a heartbreaker, Joe, to lead that many laps and end up in second place, but still a strong run for him. Zach Chapman will be heading up to chat with us now. Zach, congratulations. Good win. Sounds like that caution came out almost the perfect time for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was sitting in there in the Discord with my SSR boys, and I was shocked when the caution came out that I was in first. I was just making my move, and I thought when the caution came out, it was going to screw me. But when I looked at the leaderboards and I was in first, oh man, I was smiling ear to ear. I knew it was mine to lose then.
Of course, you had to catch Steven in the first place. How did you do that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't do it without Shaw Jr. and William Watson, because the tweaks they make on these setups.
Yeah.
On us SSR boys, we fly.
Mhm.
I mean, all I got to do is drive it.
Yeah, William had a tough race though, didn't he? He got 2 cautions back to back there. So, so what did you do now? Okay, you're in the lead. We got single file. We're almost to the end. How did you make sure to keep them behind you?
I mean, up against the wall 1 and 2, and I was gonna shield the bottom in 3 and 4 there. I wasn't gonna let him get it from me. I got it from him. So, just try to run my own race at that point.
Were the ends that different at the end of the race there? The 2 different ends of the racetrack, I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like I mean, 3 and 4 is shaped different than 1 and 2. So if you angle it out right, on the bottom, you're a little faster, and when the whole track slicks over, there's not much advantage to being up top. You don't have that.
I see.
Good grip.
Nice. So it's a big win. Who do you want to say thanks for? Obviously, you mentioned all the boys at SSR.
Yeah, like I say, all the boys at SSR. I got engaged 2 days ago.
Congratulations!
So I'd like to thank my fiance for always letting me do this, and of course my old man for getting me into iRacing, and just my little brother. I'm sure he's watching right now. So,
was there any doubt? I appreciate it. Was there any doubt that she was going to say yes?
No, to tell you the truth, we've been dating for 10 years, so I was pretty slow on it.
It's about time then, right, Zach? Come on, right? I'm sure some of your buddies are telling you that, right? Come on, you know, make her an honest woman already, okay? So, and she's been around you in iRacing, so she knows what she's getting into, right?
100%. Yeah, we've been living together for 7 of those years, so she knows what she's getting into.
Yeah, every night for a couple hours, you're gone, and there you go. So, well, congratulations on that, too. Sounds like this past couple days has been great. We're going to see you in the next race, Zach?
Oh, 100%. I'm not going to miss a street stock race this season.
All right. You take care, man. And again, congratulations on both fronts.
Thanks, fellas. And I really appreciate what you guys do. You guys do a great job.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. And it does, right, Joe? I mean, I love it when the guys say that. Don't
Mark.
you? It's nice that they think that,
Tell you what, man, he did an outstanding job coming through the front like he did there. And sometimes you have a little bit of luck, too, like you racing. That's just how it works out. But folks, don't go anywhere, because we're going to be right back. We have got our Elite Series. These are the bad boys of the GForce Racing Series. Yeah, Oswegan Speedway Racers Elite 360 wing sprint. So, Doug, hang on to it. We're going to be right back. Folks, don't go anywhere. Give us a few. We're going to switch over. Right back.
Good evening and welcome to Wicked Wednesday, Part 2, as we're here tonight for the Elite Division 360 Sprints, brought to us by Oswego Speedway Race Source. Today, we are at one of my favorite tracks. This is Lanier National Speedway. It's a 3/8 mile racetrack with walls all the way around. Not big banking, but enough where it can help you out, and we have the best of the best in the sprint car division with us here tonight. This is the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. Remember, we have 19 different GeForce Racing League divisions. A lot of them might be right just for you. There's a lot of them with the fixed setups for entry-level folks that we run during the day. There's road courses on the weekend. We hope that you like that and hope you come and race with us. Of course, Gambler Motorsports is an e-race team. There's guys out there racing in the division tonight. They do all kinds of stuff, including the 24-hour races and all that. So check them out on Facebook. My name's Doug Elkins. Joe White is the man behind the scenes who allows me to talk to you guys. Without that, I'd be sitting in front of my computer talking to nobody. Joe, great street stock race we just saw, and boy, these elites have been good all year long.
Street stocks have been awesome, man. Like we said before, those guys with those cars, just full-bodied style stock cars. But what we got here is the 360 wing sprints. So you go kind of from apples to oranges here. You go from I'm gonna say a slug basically on the dirt track to a awesome mighty midget machine here that has a lot of horsepower and a lot of get up and go to it. So you know how you maneuver around this track, and it's two different tracks like you just said there too. How you maneuver in this track and with this car, a lot different than what you're going to do in a street stock.
Wanted to thank the folks at NSM Wraps. That's Wraps with a Z. They're a fairly new company, just started in April, doing wraps for your favorite cars, dirt and asphalt, you name it, they will take care of it for you. They sponsor our division standings, but of course, this is the first race, as we did a couple of qualifiers leading up to this, so there are no standings just yet. Go to GForceRL.com to find out more about this division, about lots of the other divisions, and to find out a time that might work for you. You can come on out here and have some fun with us, right, Joe? I mean, heck, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to find out about how to get involved in the league, here to GeForce Racing, because they got multiple
all kinds of stuff,
all kinds of racing and all kinds of series that go on throughout the week. Some broadcasted, some not, but it's just awesome. Go to GForceRL.com. Definitely can find out all the information that you want there. Right now, we're on track. Here's qualifying, and Donnie Ross, the man up top, but that could change very quickly, as it usually does throughout qualifying.
This is Bandy-built race cars qualifying going on right now. Let me see, 12.564 of Donovan Ross is the fastest time so far. And as we've seen, qualifying matters, I think, maybe more in iRacing than it does in the non-virtual world. What do you think, Joe?
You know, I think it does here, because like what we saw in the street stocks. Now, the difference is these are obviously open style setups. What we saw in the street stocks, I'm gonna say that
they were
open.
Fixed. They were open.
They were open. Okay, so
they were open. Yes.
Either way, being open, two different style cars. I think what we're going to see, obviously, with this track, and we saw it last one, is just very tough to pass. But with these cars, you're going to see the slide job really easy. So I think, again, yes, qualifying is important, but I think you might be able to qualify a little bit off, get marred back in some traffic. You might see some guys coming through the field here.
Of course, I believe there are more cars than what would actually start tonight, so qualifying is going to matter, because it looks like some of these drivers are going to end up. Robert Satterfield just turned a 12.613, so he is now third. Kevin Lovey's just did a 12.725, so he is 10th. I think everybody's been out there so far, but we'll wait a moment and see, as the session has not advanced yet. Lanier National Speedway. Joe, you and I were talking about this one before we got in here. I really like this place.
Yeah, a good, smooth style track. It's going to be fast around here. Obviously, 12-second lap times. It's definitely quick. All of them are pretty much short tracks here on the iRacing circuit. A lot of dirt tracks are, but see if they got multiple grooves. I mean, we saw that there at that Charlotte track. They had a lot of multiple grooves. These cars here, I think, tend to want to go on the high side, but we've seen guys, man, take the low line. But I'm gonna take a gander and say that they're gonna get up there in that cushion and kind of push the limit a little bit.
And of course, this is a 3/8 mile track, so this is kind of almost an intermediate. It's not a short track like a quarter mile or a third, and it's not a half either. So it tends to be a little bit better racing. Reminds me a little bit of a track around here in Central New York called Fulton Speedway with a little bit less bank. A&J Custom Creations brings us Heat 1 here tonight, and Joe, you and I have talked about their work. They do outstanding plaques. So with maybe you guys are in a bowling league or a dart league or something, and you want to make sure to get some trophies and plaques that people are going to love, that they think they're cool. Get a hold of Andy Patton. This is all CNC stuff on wood. It's beautiful work. Trust me, you're going to like it, and the people who get them are going to like it, so make sure to hook him up and give him some business. Chris Steele, Rob Shaw in the front row. Jesse Bandy and Chris Sabeski are in row number 2. Craig Silby, who won last night in the midgets, and Preston Kramer are in row 3. And Jeffrey Barker is with Steven Fernberg in row number 4. I'm looking at the heats here, and it looks like we are going to have, let's see, we've got 23 cars. So the good news there is, Joe, everybody's going to get in the show tonight.
Oh, okay, good deal. I thought I saw 29, but hey, that's awesome. Everybody's going to get in there. So, Chris has not gridded up. We'll see if he does.
Wait, you're right. You're right. There's 4 heats. So, sorry, my bad. Joe gets the point on that one.
Oh, okay.
And you see those little holes you're seeing in the racetrack right there? In the dirt world, what those are caused by is something called a sheep's foot, which is basically like a rolling pin with little spikes on the end of it.
What they do when fertilizing something?
They have something similar to that. I'm not sure if that's actually how they do it or not.
Irrigate,
but
or something like that.
Yes. And what that does is that makes the track a little slicker sometimes because the tire's not on clay all the time. That hole, there's no tread on that part. So it does tend to make the racing a little bit better a lot of times. So 4 qualifying heats. Very cool. What's that?
Plant some weeds in there too.
Well, they happen during the off season anyway. So of course not up here in Central New York. It's snow. The weeds don't grow in the wintertime up here. So
no.
it doesn't work for that up here.
It's good to get the technical
place.
Inside on things because obviously, asphalt's asphalt. They do prep some of those tracks and whatnot. And so, but it's interesting how, a lot of people say, well, it's a dirt track. How in the world can they prep it? They do it first, over time throughout the race. Yeah, they got to go out there and do what they call drag the track, so forth, so on. But, it will get ruts. It will get a better line out there because it is still ground. It is still dirt. They do try to keep it conditioned throughout the racing.
And they do. And of course, there's a lot of prep that goes into it. They don't just come in and water it that morning and go racing that night. There's a lot more that goes into it. The clay has to be good. Certain parts of the country have different clays. Up here in Central New York, we're known for slick. Down more to the south, they're known for bitey clay that goes a lot faster. But we'll see what we get here tonight at Lanier as 8 cars go out. Only 4 will transfer over.
Absolutely. Got Steele out front, Shaw there in second, Chris hanging on to the 3rd place, Preston Kramer there in 4th place transfer. You can already see him taking it 3 and 4 wide. Chris Sibley right there along with us. He takes the 4th place transfer spot. As you can, I'm going to tell you what, folks, you blink, this race will be over with these guys.
True. Silby over in New Zealand where it is 3:15 in the afternoon right now. So he's going to be getting ready for dinner here in just a little bit.
We saw him pick the pace up last week and the other day, last night. Right there, you see Preston Kramer get involved. And into the wall, and he's going to have to run the numbers there as that puts Steven Fernberg up into the 4th place spot here in the lead series. Battle for the lead, though. Chris Steele's got company. He's got Chris down here up top. As one's up top on the cushion, one's down low there. So right now you see multiple grooves working.
And there is a slower car in front of this group as well. That's the 519 of Rob Shaw, who is at the tail end of the lead lap. Boy, they almost wrecked each other for a second there.
I was seeing it right here. Sibley there along with Steele. They got together. Something you don't want to do too often with these cars. They are open wheel style machines, so you can't get those wheels hooked up. You already see you getting up on some lap traffic. Look at Steele trying to take that low line slide job. As you can already see, Fernberg back there in 4th. That's another lap car, though, behind Chris Steele. Going to take the low line and right around him, but a crossover.
Yeah, the 57, that's Jesse Bandy. He is not on the lead lap as Steele gets by him. So this is the last lap here. We're going to throw the checker.
I'm going to tell you what, that's something, as a guy sitting in the transfer spot, you don't want to see a lap car coming up there and doing slide jobs around you. Go and say, hey, wait a minute, because it could have been very easily those guys could have got together, and then it would have knocked him right on out of being in the 4th place spot there. But what a first heat here for us tonight. Send us over into heat race number 2.
So nice job by Chris Sebeski getting the win there. McConey Setup Shop. We're going to find out more about them during the practice. You're going to be able to see a video with some of the stuff they do. But basically, they are going to help you with setups and get you to victory lane. They have an open door policy. They want to talk to you. They want to know what the cars are doing. So make sure to look them up, okay? McConey, MACONI. You'll see them, again, cycling up there at the top part of the screen as well as the race goes on. And again, we're going to learn more about them, but thank you for their sponsorship. Jack Clevenger and Kevin Lovies are in row number 1. Ross Carenta, Donovan Ross are sitting in row number 2. And in this one, they did invert. Donovan was the second fastest qualifier. Stephen Goldner, Daniel Blau, they are in row number 3. And then Tom Taylor is back with us tonight, along with Lane Snook in the last row. And we didn't see Snook grid up in the last one, and I just saw he got connected, so we'll see if he makes it in this one.
He's out there, so he's up in the seventh place spot. So we'll see. Now, he loves these sprint cars. Saw him do awful good last night there. He struggled a little earlier on there in the midgets, but says he likes those things too here tonight with the 360 wing sprints. I've always said big go-karts with a wing, you kind of pretty much just sitting on the motor and transmission with some tires.
It's true.
You're really just kind of driving a motor and the transmission around here, folks, with a half shell on it.
Yeah.
Got to be, I don't know, that's just got to be exhilarating, I guess.
Well, drivers who drive sprints, they say you drive other race cars and they're thrilling, but sprints are in a category all their own. Jack Clevenger on the bottom, but wow, look at this battle out front. They're going right to it here on lap number 1. Slide job.
A man up there, slide job, City Hutton, Donovan Ross looking on the inside. Here comes Jack Clevenger, Ross Carente right there along with him. They are just trading positions like paint up front. Here we go. You see another slide job. Kevin Lovely takes the top side.
Lovey's up high now, and you can see that car. That's Donovan Ross trying to work on the outside of him. Down on the bottom, that is Carenta down low in the 10. 3 wide for the lead.
3 wide, a lead out of the turn. Not going to work for the middle lane there of Ross. He tried it, but up top, we still got Kevin down way low down there. Looks like Clevenger is going to come up here to the party. Your top 4 guys are all right there. Hang on, though. Stephen Goldner said, how you doing, fellas? I'm going to come up here and join you and see if I can't knock one of you out of that spot. Here comes Goldner to the inside.
They are in exactly the position they are right now that they started in. So that is where they are as Carenta trying to inch his way in front on the bottom. It looks like we've got a new leader.
New leader right there for the moment. He's put a slider on the inside. He's going to see if he can't make it connect. On the inside, he's going to keep it right there. You see, though, Lovey's still hanging onto the top side on the cushion, but it looks like old Ross Carente is going to take that move up there on him. They're still battling it out for the lead, right here with Stephen Goldner. He's losing a little ground at that 4th place spot.
Yeah, he is. I was watching that, and you can see him changing his lineup a little bit as they're going to get the white flag, just crossing the start-finish line now. 1 more lap to go. Carenta leading Lovey's by a couple tenths of a second, but now here comes Donovan Ross sliding in there for second spot. Down to the line they come, Joe.
At a turn 4 crossing the line is going to be Ross Carente and Jack Clevenger going to hang on to the 4th place spot. What a race that was there. Those guys were swinging it, dosing around. I loved it right there.
So that race is complete. We're halfway through our qualifying heat race in action. That will bring us to qualifying heat race number 3, brought to us by the good folks at Howard Hanna Real Estate. They are the #1 family-owned and operated independent broker in the country. Get a hold of Scott Hurwitt at S. Hurwitt, WITT at the end, at ymail.com. No matter where you are in the country, he's going to find a realtor for you that's going to get you a great deal. First house, second house, dream house, whatever you want, they will take care of you. Here's the lineup for qualifying heat race number 3. GJ Boydale, Jamie McCarran in row number 1. Maximin Langevin and Robert Satterfield are in row 2. Aiden Young, Jonathan Short, they are in row 3. And Benjamin Kolsch is at the back of the pack in position number 7. And 1 more qualifying heat to go after this, Joe.
Yeah, so we're getting set here. Pull off one that these guys. Last one was exciting. Shows you how much important it was to want to get into the feature without having to go through that consolation.
Especially on a night like tonight, where we're doing 4 qualifying heats too. So yeah, there's a lot more cars than what is actually going to get into tonight. I believe it's 27, 28, somewhere right around in there. But we are ready to go here in qualifying heat race number 3. I hit the mute button just in time to miss my sneeze there. I'm getting talented at this stuff now, you know that? DJ Boydell, that's him on the bottom, the 014. Jamie McCarran is the 2 right outside of him as we are ready to go. A lot of good names in this one as we go green.
Green flag flies. We're out front here, and you got McCarran right there along with it. DJ Boydell on the inside, and you see again contact up front between those two. Robert Satterfield sitting in second. Maximum hanging on there in the third place spot. Well, I said the fourth place spot. John Short wants that though.
And Satterfield has just said, I don't care what you guys are doing on the bottom. I'm all the way out here up top. And I believe he might have the lead here as he's still racing with Jamie McCarran.
Yeah, it is. McCarran's going to see if he can't take that low or high, the low line, down low there. And Robert has taken up the top side up in the cushion. 2 by 2 and side by side. Like we said before, we take it back. These guys are the Elite Series here for this weekend Speedway race source here tonight. And it's awesome to see what they can put on. Right now, battle for the lead is going to 4th place because that's the important spot here. GJ Boydell, the glass transfer spot. He's got company behind him. We've got Benjamin and Aiden Young there.
And Aiden Young, of course, we've seen him win a lot of races, and he is currently 6th on the outside looking in. But what we mean by the elite is this is the best of the G-Force Racing League right here. They don't just let anybody do this. You got to earn your way into it as we continue to watch this battle here inside the top 5.
Yeah, you see right there Aiden Young sitting in 6th place, right, just not been able to make up ground. G.J. Boydell's hanging on the 4th. We'll see what Robert's looking like. He's walking away from here. He's up there in that top side. McCarran's hanging on the second. Unusual though, you see Robert hanging to the top side, you see Jamie hanging down to the low side, Maximum sitting right there in 3rd place, GJ Boydell down in 4th, Benjamin still sitting if he can't get up there and take it away from him.
And I'm interested to see that too, because really the top 4 are all kind of spread out right now. Closest gap there is about a half a second, so I'm surprised that Satterfield, being the only guy running the top, ran as well as he did. He won that race from 4th. McCarran gets 2nd, Langev and G.J. Boydell are last qualifiers.
Like that goes by that quick, folks. I always said, you go to another room and get something. We're in the next week. If you blink the season, or if you go to the bathroom or something, the season's over with.
Yeah, number 1 maybe. Number 2, you're not going to make it, okay, guys? Race number 4, brought to us by Schultz Heating and Cooling. They are out in Western New York. They are HVAC experts. And I'll tell you, whether you need that routine check, something emergency, maybe all of a sudden your house is cold and you don't know why. Of course, if you live in Colorado, that's a different story. But they've been doing this for 20 years, and they know what to do. Make sure to give Mike a call. He is a former racer, and he's also an iRacer now. 585-330-4992. And you saw those guys get their power shut off. They shut off the gas lines in Colorado. Terry Landis, Kyle Moonen in the front row, John Hine, Jason Randolph, new driver in row 2, Brian Moore Sr., Larry Moody in row 3, and Steven Spies. Boy, he's starting 7th here. Boy, things change quickly, huh? Don't they? One race to the next.
And that's the thing. You got to look at it. It's just that's the dirt track side of things here. We talk about some of the best, and we talk about great drivers here in the G-Force League, but there's just so many different drivers out here and so different talents. And you made note of it earlier there. To get into this series, they got to work their way up through the Renegades and through the Raiders and the Rebel Series and so forth. Again, go to GForceRL.com, check out all that information there. Tonight here with the Elite Series at the Oswego Speedway Race Source Elite Series 360 Wing Sprints. Pace trucks in, green flag flies, and Landis and company up front taking on.
Landis, you can always tell him, he always has the powder blue car. That's him down on the inside. Kyle Moonen on the outside trying to get it. Maybe he saw what happened in that last race. He wants to work that top side.
He does. You see Moonen up top right there, hanging onto the cushion. Down low, Landis is looking good. Moody right there behind him. And, you got Jason there in the 4th place spot. Now he's got company by John Hine. As down low, look out, here comes Hine. He does not want to have to run through the consolation. He's going to see if he can't work that low line.
Yeah, and he's down even lower than Landis, who's in 2nd place, 3 wide for the runner-up spot. The car on the outside is Jason Randolph up there. Larry Moody's the one in the middle, and of course Landis is the one in the bottom. Your leader, you're catching him just there for a second. He's starting to pull away just a little bit.
Yeah, it is. You see there, John Hine looking out here, seeing what's going on in his front, seeing what he can do, as he's already lost another position. It's Speeds right there. See him? He's like, I want to get up here and get in this 4th place spot. Nobody's been able to make up ground. Still a battle on up there for 3rd and 4th. We're just kind of hoping those two guys get involved with each other. John right now, he sees Speeds down the inside. This is a good battle for about 5th and 6th.
Yeah, that's what it is right there. So Spies, remember, he started last, so he's come up just to get up there to run next to John like this. But there's your 4 qualifiers. You see them right there on the screen, and it looks like they got a little bigger that corner.
They do, and you still see John right there on the outside looking in. You got Larry Moody hanging on to the 4th place spot, and he's still trying to get a little bit right there as the white flag's out. Right, he's going to see if he can't hang on to it. That's going to have to mess up for John to be able to get up there to him, though.
Yeah. 1.278 is the lead for Kyle Moonen right now, as he's going to grab the checkered flag here and get the win here at Lanier National Speedway. Landis gets second. Jason Rudolph, good run on the top side to get third. And Larry Moody comes home in 4th. Consolation time. Moving along fast here tonight. That's why I like the sprints too, though. Velocity Race Designs bringing us the B main here tonight. Want a fresh new look for your favorite dirt car? Do go to Velocity Race Design. Throwbacks, something just like a car you see at the track, whatever it is, head over to Velocity Race Design on Facebook and order yourself a custom paint design today. I don't have that gene in me, Joe, so I let the people like that do those kinds of things. Jeff Barker, Stephen Goldner there in the front row, Aiden Young, John Hine in row 2. Rob Shaw, Lane Snook in row number 3, Benjamin Kolsch, Stephen Spies in row 4, Jesse Bandy, Daniel Blau in row 5, John Short, Brian Moore Sr. in row 6, and then Preston Kramer and the sailor, Tom Taylor, is in 14th place. Now, the good news here is that the top guys are going to get in this, but we ran 4 heats, so that means only 8 cars are going to get in, so you got to finish top 8 here, Joe.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're looking at 4, actually a little more than 4 drivers are going to go home, and some of those 4 or 6 drivers there, we've got some names back there: Preston Kramer, Tom Taylor, John Short, just to name
Daniel
a few.
Blau,
Daniel Blau's right there on the outside looking in. Spies is in there, so
well, he's right at 8th now, so yeah.
Well, you know, and I know, Doug, you know, you might be on the outside looking in, but how fast these guys, they can get into trouble, you know, get hooked up with each other and, hey, can wreck.
And there's no cautions in the Consi, so all it takes is a little bang on the wall or a sprint or a spin a lot of times, and that's it. You're done.
Absolutely.
You're watching the feature from home. Like Joe and I are, you know?
And it's been exciting so far tonight here for this Elite Series here for this Weekend Speedway Race Source. Pace trucks in, Stephen Golder and Jeffrey Barker out front. Here we go, 2x2. Green flag flies, and they're already going to try to see if they can't do three wide here going into the turn.
Barker on the bottom. Goldner, well, he usually likes the bottom, but he's way out at the top in this one. Aiden Young, the 69, right back there. I mean, look at these names that are in the consolation, Joe. These are guys that have won races in this league just in the fall series.
Kind of give you an idea right there in that shot just how close everybody is and just how much spread out this track is from there. So kind of look, but you just still see side by side. You've got guys low, guys high. Let's go back here to that 8th place spot, because that's the so important when they're making it a feature. You got Spies right there in 7th. Benjamin hanging on to the 8th place spot, but right behind him, Daniel Blau, John Short, Jesse Bandy, Preston Kramer. I mean, you've got a who's who of names back there. But the good news is, oh, never mind, they're beating the bang. The good news is they're all right there on top of each other. They
are, too. And the other thing I liked from that wide shot that you showed there, Joe, you really can see how many grooves there are. And you can see right here as we ride with Jesse Bandy, he needs to get 2 more spots. But look at all the racing grooves there are there, Joe. Unfortunately, Preston Kramer, his wall crashes out. That's I heard that. For his night tonight. I hate to see that on Preston's part. You see, right now we're riding with Jesse Bandy. He's up to 10th. He's moving up, seeing what he can do here. Another car around, looks like behind him, Benjamin Kolsch, right? Kolsch, my bad, Kolsch. And then another one there. That's Jesse Bandy. No. We were just watching Jesse Bandy. He was coming through the field. He just got, the good thing is, though, he kept going. He's still in 10th. And was that Steven Spies that was flipping there? I couldn't tell for a second. Not sure. So. Looks like John Short's out of it. Benjamin's in the back. No, Spies is still out there. Okay. Spies is still there. He's in 7th right there, though. Got a little bit of contact on. You see that bar in the front kind of mashed just a little bit. But he's still safe. He's sitting in the 8th place spot. We'll have to see if he can hang on to that spot. Is Daniel Blau is the man right there who's going to try to take it away from him. Brian Moore. Swapping it every lap, pretty much. Swapping it more. White flags out one more time. Stephen Goldner's leading it. Who's going to get this 8th place spot here? Yeah, Goldner, it looks pretty solid. Nice thing for Spies and Blau. 7th and 8th both gets them in, so Goldner gets it. Barker finishes second. Aiden Young in third. John Hine, Lane Snook, good run for Lane. Rob Shaw, Daniel Blau, and Stephen Spies does get the final qualifying spot. So from victory lane to starting 24th, that's racing.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. So, folks, I'll tell you what, we're going to step away right fast, get us some, hear from some of our great sponsors here. We'll be right here in just a few.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Introducing GForceTV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForceTV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForceTV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForceTV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForceTV racing leagues. GForceTV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForceTV.
Welcome back to the GeForce Racing League's Elite Division, brought to us by Washougal Speedway Race Source. This is the Icon Sim Sports Intermission. I know you saw that ad with all those great-looking rigs. That's Icon. They'll build something right for you, custom design. Look them up, iconsimsports.com. And, of course, make sure to check out GeForceRL.com to see our MSM Photos Driver of the Week. They can put together all kinds of packages for you, including those hero cards and things like that. NSM Photos, that's photos with a Z. Make sure to look them up. NeedSpeedMotorsports.com, and then, of course, they are on Facebook. as well. They're doing and talking to the drivers right now as they're getting ready to go out. Doug Elkins, of course, with Joe White with you. This is our Supreme Sim Racing feature lineup coming up here in just a moment. Joe, been a good show tonight so far.
So far it has. I mean, like you said, we got those street stocks, and they put on an awesome show for the SSR guys earlier on. Now we got the Oswego Speedway Race Source Elite 360 feature about to come up here. 30 laps, I think it is. These guys are going to go fast.
30 laps.
With them. 24 of the best, though. Going to get it done here. And, folks, like I said before, check out GForceRL.com. Hit those likes and shares out there on the YouTube side of things. As always, they love it. Let us know who your favorite driver is out there, too, Doug, as looks like set to go racing.
Malcolm Mills will bringing us our replays tonight. Of course, Supreme Sim Racing, of course, is responsible for the lineup. Look for them. SSR, look for them when you're racing. They're looking for people to join their teams. And, of course, later we'll meet the top 3 finishers in our Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane. So here is how they go. Joe's already got the graphic up. Chris Sebeski and Ross Corinto will start on the front row. Robert Satterfield, Kyle Moonen in row number 2. Craig Silby, last night's winner in the midgets, and Donovan Ross in row 3. Jamie McCarron, Terry Landis in row 4, Chris Steele, Kevin Lovey's row 5, Maximum Langevin and Jason Randolph, they will be in row 6, Stephen Fernberg, Jack Clevenger in row number 7, GJ Boydell and Larry Moody, they are in row number 8, Stephen Goldner, Jeffrey Barker, boy, they were next to each other in the heat too, they're going to be in row 9 together, Aiden Young, John Hine in row 10, Lane Snook and Rob Shaw, row 11, and then Daniel Blau and Steven Spies, who went from winning just a few moments, or from finishing second actually a few moments ago, to starting 24th here in this one. So going to be a good feature. 30 laps. Cautions will count here, Joe. So unlike in the heat races, caution doesn't hurt quite as much, but you still have to go to the back. So should be quite the show. I
think it will be. Like 24 of these cars out here we've seen, like at the B main, it was just a wild show there. Let's see what these guys can put on. Kind of a little bit of urgency as the laps go on to get to the front. Like guys in the back, like we've got back there, Chris Steele, GJ Boydell, Stephen Golden, marred back in traffic. You got a lot of heavy hitter names back there, but up front, Chris, Ross Corrente, Kyle Moon and the company, they got it on lockdown. And I will pretty much say, man from down under there, Craig Sibley, pretty good so far.
Yeah, he'll be starting this one in 5th, so we'll see if he can double up and win on back-to-back nights as we are racing here at Lanier National Speedway. A really fun 3/8 mile track with lots and lots of grooves. Chris Sebeski, your early race leader.
3 wide, 3x3. You've got them up front. Kyle Mooney and Chris right there. Robert Scatterfield, Ross Corrente. Look at this action. It's in the front, middle, and the back, all over the place. But up front, Chris takes the high lane to the cushion. Down low, will be able to make that pass. I said it. No, he got caught up on the wall.
Yeah, and Moonen was the car that was in the middle there. Although here comes the 21 right back at him, though. Sebeski not having any problem. That little tap in the wall didn't hurt him too much. Look at these guys. They're all over each other.
Robert Scatterfield down low. Chris right there in the middle. Kyle Moon sitting up top. So far, you got 3 wide for second place. And Moon says, I'm checking out of this place. Ross Corrente hanging on the 4th. Donovan Ross there in the 5th place. He's got Sibley right there trying to see if he can't push that bar in on him. They're going to almost take it 4 wide for a slider.
Boy, this is really something here. They've been 3 wide in the top 5 since we dropped the hammer here in this race. We're working lap number 5 right now. Kyle Moonen has been working pretty much the middle here these first few laps. He continues to lead on the outside. Satterfield's been there. Now Satterfield now switches to the bottom, Sebeski's the guy who's up high. And like you said, Correnta's right there too in the 10.
The only man right now is loving what he's seeing is Kyle Moonen out front. He wants his thing to go clean and green for the moment because he is checking out. Behind him, though, it is a 3-car battle for second, third place right now. You can see the car way up high. That was Robert. You got Chris down low. Ross Corrente there in the middle. Well, I'm going to tell you what, you still got another something. You got some more 3. I don't even know where to go here. It's just so much action on the track.
Well, you and I were talking, this is something you can't just come and race in this elite division. You've got to qualify, you got to work your way up, and boy, the quality of the racing is showing that determination, and of course the announcers kicked it. So there we go, right?
Now, unfortunately, that was Jamie McCarron. Malcolm Mills replay here and see what happened to him.
He was 6th.
Locked up. Yeah, he was up front there for the moment.
Yeah.
Probably all that, these guys were just 3 and 2 wide for most of the track. Again, it doesn't take much. You get locked up on two wheels.
Boy, you got a good run there.
You got to understand, folks, still these things are open wheel machines. You can't get out there and just go side by side. Oh, slide job. Like you got to just do a dive bomb, so to speak, and then luckily got turned around instead of getting turned upside down.
And like we always said, it doesn't take much when these cars are in a set like that. You watch that and you go, well, gee, how did he spin out? There was hardly any contact at all. But when you're right on the ragged edge like that, Joe, all it takes, I always said, if you could go out there with a pinky and just push on that left rear quarter panel, you could spin a car out just like that.
We take that reference back there to draft racing on the NASCAR side of things. They've always said if you guys can get out there, literally push one of those cars around with your hand. They're going so fast, and they're so much out of control. So kind of like what you just said there, it's very, very easy to do. It doesn't take a lot of contact. Well, these things been open wheel like they are, almost like with the Indy cars. And you're going to get up there and jump those tires. Pace trucks in, green flag flies. Kyle Moonen and company up front, though, they're back at it again.
That could be just enough, and boy, Moonen did get himself a real nice start as he continues to lead. That's Sebeski up there on the high side, and once again, Satterfield down low, as this is still anybody's race. Caution out once again.
Jason Randolph.
Okay.
Crash, but
let's see what happened. He's in the 4. That's him on the outside, I believe. They're the Casey's General Store car. Long-time World of Outlaw sponsor, too, by the way. Well, they've been in that for, since I remember seeing them back in the 90s. So, nice to have loyal sponsors.
Into him. Nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Boom. And then from there, it's just a pile up.
Well, at least we didn't see any dead turtles, like you like to say out there, right, Joe? Nobody upside down, nobody flipping, so that's a good thing right there. So Kyle Moonen continues to lead, but man, I'll tell you, any one of those top 4, and even now Kevin Loveys has come in 10th to 5th, and of course you know me, Joe, I'm always watching to see who our 2Ws Fleming hard charger is. As of now, it would be Jack Clevenger, 14th to 6th, so he's done a nice job here. And again, one of my favorite tracks. I just love this place, Lanier National Speedway, Joe. I really do.
Really good track, really good racing right now. A lot of grooves to it here at Lanier's. Getting set to go back green here for our Elite Series tonight. Us Weekend Speedway Race Source. Green flag. Kyle Moonen says, I want to check this place out again and long gone and get it over with. They're back at 3 wide again. They're in the second place spot.
Wow. This is some darn good racing here. And you can see Moonen still keeping pretty much that low to middle line. On the outside, Sebeski's been pretty much glued there pretty much the whole race. So, and Satterfield's been down low, and still a lot of things happening back behind him. This is anybody's race.
Absolutely. Robert right there looking good. Ross Carente in the mix too. Donovan Ross there in 5th. Look out. Here you go. 3 wide again into the turn. Jack Clevenger and company. Let's see what happens here. Maximum, unfortunately, around in the back, though no caution still going here. But it's still a battle up front. Moonen's got company with Chris Sebeski.
Yeah, Sebeski was actually credited with leading the last lap, but they are still close, and there's somebody on their side right in front of them, caution out. Woo! That was the mosquito, right? Was that the way you used to call that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, these cars are back.
Well, when they're spinning like that one just was, it's like that one you swap, but you don't quite get him, and he's still around. So
I think it's Rob Shaw.
Was that who it was?
It's showing it on my chart over here, so we'll see. We'll watch with him. Looks like he got caught up in something else. It looks like maybe it was 2 of the cars there.
Boom.
Yep, he's the one that went over.
Oh,
probably going to hit the throttle. Watch him. Yep. See, watch the car go around, round and round and round we go. Where it stops. The dirt nose.
Dreidel, something like that. So yeah, the Red Bull car ran out of wings there. So
couldn't fly.
Yeah, that's the worst I could come up with that fast. So Moonen has been the dominant driver. He's led more laps than anybody. He's on the outside on this restart. But Chris Sebeski, and this is interesting, he was running the outside. He chose the bottom here. Robert Satterfield's behind him. Ross Carenta is in there too. And don't count out Jack Clevenger and Donovan Ross. That black number 5's been poking his nose in there as well. As I think the pace truck is going off this time. We're halfway home in this 30-lapper.
Halfway home, like you said. Man out front, though, it's been mostly Kyle Moonen, but old Chris Sebeski right there is taking it away from him as a green flag. See him get a little wiggly. Here comes Robert. He's going to try to take that into an advantage here for him as he throws a slider on the inside.
And it might work, too. He's down on the inside of him now. And I think we've got ourselves a new leader here once again. But yeah, tough break on the restart.
Just like that, we've seen it before in any kind of racing. You spin those tires, you get a bad start. But don't count out Kyle Mooney. Mooney says, hey, look, I've dominated most of this. He's coming back, firing back there on the middle side here with all elite cylinders out there tonight. But it's three-wide battle for the lead. Chris, Robert, and Kyle right there.
And Donovan Ross spitting out back there a little bit. I just caught that out of the corner of my eye when they went by the backstretch that time. And there's also a slower car up in front of these guys, too. Maximin Langevin. Oh, somebody got the wall and flipped back there.
Kevin Lovey.
It was Kevin Lovey's. I saw the white, and I thought that's who it was. Heavy contact into the wall. Good break for Maximin Langevin now as he'll be able to drive around and catch up to the back of the pack.
Back on our Malcolm Mills replay right here and see what happens in that black and
white and blue
machine.
Yeah, he's going to take a right turn here in a moment. Now, there was Donovan Ross. Did you see him? He just spun there. So that put him out of the top 5, and he's actually back to 10th now.
Oh, he got contacted, put him up into the wall. That thing just end over end, and then from there, hope you don't have virtual reality on that thing because he has a VR set. That's a headache waiting to happen.
Yeah, because you're going to see that happen in real time as it happens. And he's talking about, the headset guys, where you see the Oculus and some of those things. Yeah. Well, in the real world, that is what you're supposed to do in a situation like that. We had a driver at a half-mile track, took a bad barrel roll, and it was at the end of the straightaway. He was really moving. And I saw him a week later, and he looked like he was in a bar fight because they say the centrifugal force tries to pull your eyes right out of your socket. So there's a tip for you guys if you are driving. You get in a situation like that where you're rolling, close your eyes.
You just scared all the kids away on the broadcast. Man, I tell you what.
We
went from elite series racing to horror racing out here, folks. Green flag back
It's all fun and games until centrifugal first tries to pull your eyes out of the socket. Sebeski and Moonin out front, and look at the battle back behind them for third. It's racing all over the place here. Wow.
They think these things have got fenders on them because they're back there just beating and banging on each other. That's Robert Scatterfield right there. Not definitely scattering the field. They're 4 wide. We got a car around back there. He's able to hang on to it. That's Sibley in trouble. Ouch, man. I tell you what, unfortunately, but look at this. Sandwich, he's got, what are you? Wow.
Oop, there's the
caution. It threw the yellow, but I'm going to tell you what, that's got to be spin of the night right there. That thing just went right around.
I love the 360s in the sprint cars. And, of course, Danny Sullivan did that at Indy, the spin to win, many, many years ago, back when you were probably, you were probably around to remember that, right? He cheated. Okay, I didn't know that. I must not have had that inside information.
Yeah, he cheated at, he had one of them spin hacks on it.
Oh, is that what it was? A traction control spin thing, huh? Something like that? Okay, all right. Yeah. So out front, still Chris Sebeski, Kyle Moonin, but man alive, you talk about a race living up to its billing, Joe. I mean, this is really something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's, you take it back, even though these guys are some of the best out here, they definitely, it's fierce competition on this track. I mean, we're up here watching it, folks, and, it's just turning our heads left and right of what these guys are doing on the track. And with these cars here, even though it's a virtual side of the world, it's definitely amazing to see. Just goes to show you what kind of talent is sitting out here. Because any one of these drivers any given night could win. The problem is you're only going to have one. And with the way these wing sprints are set up, very tough to get to the front.
Of course, speaking of getting to the front, let's see, who would our hard charger be right now? Our 2Ws Plumbing hard charger would be Stephen Goldner, 17th to 6th, picked up 11 spots. And you know him, he never count him out, right?
Never count him out. As the man right there is green flag back at it again. Chris up top there. Kyle Mooney along with him. But both of those guys are going to take the top side down on that cushion. Here comes Ross Corrente back at it again. Jack Clevenger's in the mix. Donovan Ross there. That should be winding down in this one with about 7 to go.
And you can see what Moonen's doing, running the middle. Now, here's what I keep thinking. I wonder if Corinta, that's the car all the way down in the bottom, the 10, if he's going to be able to get under him, because he is definitely gaining rather than falling back, and Clevenger's the car on the outside there in the top 4.
Right now, looking good up top here. Go Mike Schultz and company there along with it. Chris Sabesky out front. Jack Clevenger there along. You got
caution.
the man. Caution is out. Back on the replay here. And
He was 21st.
Go back on him and ride with him and see. But they're in the back here, so
That's usually where it happens. Hey, Mike. Looks like something.
Ouch!
Oh, jeez.
Wow, that's DJ Boydell right there, and it just tore the whole. Well, he ain't got a car left.
That was something right there. Big thanks to Malcolm Mills, of course. They are a full-service mill writing contractor located up in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. Not sure if they're Raider fans up there or not. Probably not. But big thanks to them because they've been with us for a long time, Joe. So thanks to Malcolm Mills.
Tell you what, man, we're having a good one here tonight at GForce side of things. Our network. As always, Chris Sabesky, the man out front. Kyle Moonen there along in second. Ross Corrente up in the third. Jack Clevenger in the fourth. Stephen Goldner in the fifth. Here we go. It's going to be a single file restart here, as we should only have what still says 4 to go here.
That's what I'm showing. And it looks like just the last race, single file with under 5 to go, appears to be the format for tonight. Chris Sabesky up top. Now, he and Moonen have been pretty much top middle, and you can see he goes low right off the start here to try to block us. We've got 4 laps to go, excuse me.
And Kyle Mooner's going to have to figure out some way to get around Chris or some different groove here. Chris is able to check out right now. You see, though, Chris hanging up top on the top side there on the cushion. Kyle's trying to go down low. I don't know if it's going to work out for him or not. He just cannot get that bite down there. As you see, Ross Corrente behind him, not been able to move in. I think right now Chris is up top. A few more laps around here. We're going to get that white flag.
2 to go, they're being shown this time. And I'm wondering about Corinta in third, because Clevenger is on the outside of him trying to get that spot. As Goldner now is up to position number 5. He's our 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger as of now. The white flag coming out.
Looks like going in the turn to the middle. You can see Kyle's able to make it stick. Coming off, though, is not where he needs. Not quite close enough. Final turns into the wall. That's going to hurt him. That's going to leave Chris here at a turn 4. Going to win it here tonight. Kyle's going to hang on to second. Jack Clevenger's going to pull off in the third place spot.
And we wondered about Corinta on the bottom because it just didn't seem like he was getting a good run out of the corners, and it did end up costing him a podium finish. So we'll be heading to Epsilon Sprint Rack Victory Lane here in just a moment. Remember, GForceRL.com, the schedules, the points, all that stuff, including our driver of the week, the NSM Photos driver of the week, all that stuff is there. So make sure to go and check it out. But boy, the elites lived up to it tonight. Joe, fantastic race here at Lanier.
Oh, yeah, you've got the street stocks earlier on here on the Elite Series here with these 360 wing sprints. These guys put on a fantastic show. Hats off there to old Chris Sabesky pulling it off, holding off Kyle Moonen's hard charge. No, old Moonen would have loved to have stayed up there, but sometimes just how the cautions fly, not the way it flies for you.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Goldner was our 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger. Of course, make sure to look them up, whether you got an emergency or a water heater that's going, or you just want to update the stuff that you have. They're out in Western New York. 585-749-9478. Look them up at the number 2 WS Plumbing LLC. .com, and an LLC's matter. They talk about people that come to your house without insurance, things like that. You know, the neighborhood guy, he slips on your floor and gets hurt, you're in trouble. LLC is a limited liability corporation, so in other words, you don't have to worry about that. Our top 3 drivers will be making their way in here very, very soon. And Joe, I got to give it to Chris Sabesky. Everything going on around him, he just ran his line, didn't make a mistake, and went out there and got himself a big win tonight.
He did, and I tell you, it was an awesome run for him there to be able to pull up there and take it away from old Kyle. But this man right here, third place man, Jack Clevenger, he tried. He almost tried to sneak up there and take a spot away at the end.
14th to 3rd tonight, so a solid run for Jack Clevenger. Actually made a late race pass to get 3rd. Jack, how was it for you?
It was good. I got to apologize to Kevin Lovey, though. I hit him a couple times, and I think I ended up cleaning him out there pretty good. And I apologize. It wasn't intentional. I just heard clear in my ear and kind of drifted up and cleaned him out, and I apologize for that.
That's a lonely feeling, isn't it? When you sit there and you realize you were the guy, right, that did that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I try and run clean, and I know me and Kevin have had our issues in the past, but like I said, it wasn't intentional, and I apologize to him for that.
Well, hopefully he heard that. Tell me about the race with Ross. It kind of looked like he was kind of losing momentum coming out of the corner where you, running up high, were able to get that momentum. Was it that basically how it went there at the end of the race?
It's the last caution there. I think I come out of the corner and I was second and threw the yellow right away. So kind of put me back to fourth and had to get by those guys again or try to. And just, sometimes you need cautions and sometimes they come out at a bad time. So did that caution help you there at the end? Definitely did not need that caution at the end. I like to get the momentum, kind of get my groove going, and I kind of fouled me there. Yeah, and I noticed, where was the fast groove? Because Chris was way up high. Kyle was kind of middle. I saw Ross in the bottom. Is that the way this track usually is at Lanier? Yeah, typically I run the slider line and kind of get in the moisture coming off the corner. I mean, the bottom can stay good. The top can stay good. Lanier is one of my favorites. It's got multiple grooves all the time. Yeah, I love this place too. Who do you want to say thanks to for the nice run tonight, Jack? Just thank all the guys at SRC and Radine Racing, Donovan, Scotty, Keith, and all the guys. Good job, man. Thank you. Jack Clevenger, fine run tonight. And by the way, I did some math wrong here. Joe Lane Snook was actually R2W's Plumbing hard charger, 21st to 8th. So he actually moved up 13 spots. So congratulations to him on that award. Kyle Moonen started 4th, ended up in 2nd in this race here tonight. He joins us now in the booth. Kyle, nice run. Did you have anything for Chris Sebeski tonight?
I don't know. It was a good race. I had quite a bit of fun actually racing with him and Ross and Satterfield. That's a good group of guys. We ran 3 wide there for quite a while at the beginning, or a few laps anyway.
Yeah, those first few 10 laps or so, that was crazy, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. It was a good race. I don't know. I might have had something, there after that last caution. I started hitting my marks a little bit better, and he was just saying it was getting a little choppy up top for him, but he was still fast. He's always fast. So good race, though.
Of course, you were kind of running your own line. I saw like Ross was running way, way low. Chris was way, way high. Jack was kind of up there too. When did you find that middle to bottom line?
It's kind of something I've ran, before when it slicks off really good there. It's just, kind of keeps the car wound up, keeps your momentum. It's not, when you run the bottom or the top, if you kind of miss your mark, it's kills you. So
is it all? Well, I also thought too, and you tell me if I'm wrong on this, Kyle, because you were out there, I'm just watching. If everybody's running really, really low and the rest of the guys are running really, really high, shouldn't the middle be better? Because they're going to wear that out, right?
Yeah, that's what you'd think. I don't know if a bunch of people maybe towards the back were running the middle too. I saw there was, some grip there left at the beginning, but towards the end it was pretty much, glassed off.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, I don't race. I'm not ready for that yet. I just go out and practice. But I love this place here at Lanier. Do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite tracks, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of groove, not too big like some places where you get spread out. So, well, who do you want to say thanks to for the strong run tonight, Kyle?
Just everyone at Vandybuilt, Brandon, Jesse, Fitz, they all, do the work on the sets and keep it fast. And Ross Crenette, Velocity Race Design, he does all of our paints and keeps those looking good. And you guys for the broadcast and everyone for the league.
And of course, Vandybuilt sponsors our qualifying session too. So thanks for that. Good job, man.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Kyle Moonen, strong run this evening, running a different line than most of the people that we saw there at the front of the pack. So, but Chris Sebeski was the guy who ends up getting the victory tonight, started on the pole and might not have led every lap, but boy, it was darn close to it. The Canadian joins us here. Chris, congratulations. Strong race tonight. You got to feel good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I felt really good all night. Car ran well. Had some support from my teammates behind and, really, really happy with the results tonight.
how did that support show itself? What were they doing that helped you?
Oh, just the work that we put in, night in, night out, over the course of a couple seasons. And, we've, our team, it's probably only 3 or 4 months we've been together now, but getting a lot of good results. Everybody's working together, pulling in the right direction. So it makes things a lot easier.
Were you set up for the top? Was that the plan all along?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like to bang the wall down usually. And, I was a little worried there at the end after that last caution. The cushion got kind of chopped up, and
I heard that
the car a little bit more than I wanted to, but thought lost a little pace to Kyle. He was coming really fast early on, scooped me on the bottom. So I was hoping the bottom was going to go away and the top would be the predominant line at the end there, and worked out my favor, I guess.
You mentioned the track getting chopped up there. What happens, and how do you compensate for that? What do you do when it gets like that?
A little throttle control and trying to ease the car into the corner a little bit more. I mean, I didn't anticipate that happening, so there's nothing I could have done setup wise.
Okay.
But you definitely have to finesse it a little more. You can't just flat foot it. It may seem like, it's just full out around the rim, but it's not that case at all. So I was worried there when that happened and that went away. I thought Kyle, who had been running kind of bottom to middle most of the race, I thought he was going to pull on me and then poke the nose, and we were going to come to the line battling hard. So.
Now, and so what you told me there, so it's more of an issue going into the corner than it is coming out when it chops up like that.
Well, I can't get into it too in depth, but
Okay.
like your entry is going to set up your whole corner, right? I mean,
Gotcha.
If you miss your entry, you're not going to be able to exit the way you want to. So if you get in a little too hot and the car starts bouncing around on you, and you say slap the wall in the middle or something, you've completely trashed your exit. So there's a balance to be had, and when stuff like that happens, you just got to be able to adjust on the fly.
We're watching you in slow motion now, just inches off the wall, as that is a tough line to run. Is this one of your favorite tracks, Chris?
Yeah, definitely like Lanier. It's probably one of my better tracks. I would say I got a couple others that I might do a little better at on average, but we got a real strong crowd here. Was worried I was going to have my work cut out for me tonight. Definitely did. Wasn't an easy run at all. We got Kyle and Jack and Jesse back there, and my own teammates, and like none of them are going to make it easy on me. So really happy with the result.
Yeah, sometimes the teammates race you harder than anybody else. So who would you like to say thank you to, Chris?
All the boys over at Phantom Motorsports, can't say enough about our team and the direction we're going. Really appreciate those guys. They're just, they make everything easier, and they're awesome guys. Our primary sponsor, PowerOutdoors.net, and Velocity Race Design for the paints. And got a shout out to the wife and the family for being in my corner, watching the streams, and always give me the support.
And they're going to be happy tonight as Chris gets to victory lane. Good talking to you, man. Nice job.
Thanks very much. Appreciate the broadcast and all the work done behind the scenes. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate that very much, Joe. Wow, the Elite Division tonight. That was really something. One of the better races we've seen all year.
It has been, and you've got these 360s out here, and these guys, I've said it before, coming from the street stocks to the 360s, like night and day difference, and you saw it there, but they put on an outstanding show. And again, Chris being able to pull it off there at the end was wild. I mean, you would have thought earlier on it was all Kyle mooning, but
yeah,
like that, a few things can change, and on the dirt, it's over with.
That is it. So we are done for tonight. Take us home, Joe.
Tell you what, tonight we're going to leave here, Lanier Speedway here. This is for the Oswego Speedway Race Corps Elite Series here, 360 Wing Sprints. Doug, myself, it was a good one. Everyone, have a good night.